Hey, what's up, guys? Tukey here, back again with another episode of my Hartford Whalers franchise mode series right here on NHL 18. You already know the intro. I use the same intro on basically every video, unless we're coming off like a devastating loss, as we've seen in the Montreal series on a couple of occasions. And hopefully, the next episode of this series, episode 26, hopefully I don't have to start with one of those depressing intros. Hopefully, the intro to that video is on a new level, because that would mean that the Whalers are in the Stanley Cup final. But we are still one series away from that possible scenario, and we have to dispatch of the Vancouver Canucks in today's episode. It is round 3. It's down to the final 4. Of course, it's Carolina and Columbus over in the East. It's us and Vancouver in the Western Conference Final. And I'm really intrigued to see what that Canucks lineup looks like. They only finished with 42 wins, yet here they are. You could argue, yes, we finished with 51 wins, but you look at our team, you could argue it is underdog against underdog. And we'll see who can come out on top in this series. Now, as far as our lineup goes, offensively, this is what we're going to roll with here to start the series. I am very disappointed in Wilson and Burakovsky so far, but we'll see if they can turn it around in this series. I'm not going to be against making changes. However, defensively, I have already made changes. We have recalled Liljegren after sending him down in the last episode. Of course, Phil Crosby has been sent back down to the AHL. However, Nicholas Hansen is going to be hanging around. He'll be on that third pairing with Ryan McDonough. It's funny that we have so many question marks, yet here we are in the third round, halfway home. 8 wins down, 8 to go. And of course, the goaltender, I mean, it's no question. It's Malcolm Subban. And here's the thing. If he has a rough series against the Canucks, so be it. He is the main reason why we have even made it to the Western Conference Final. But I will say, again, hopefully he proves to still be the same goaltender that we have witnessed so far through this postseason. Anyway, let's take a look at what we're up against. Let's take a look at the Vancouver Canucks. And there's one name that really jumps off the page. I'll give you a second to take a guess at who I'm concerned about. Did you think of the right answer? The right answer is Corey Perry. Corey Perry is the main name that scares me. Of course, we acquired him last season. He didn't do much for us in the postseason, and that's about right, isn't it? That's about right. 11 points so far this postseason, 7 goals for one Corey Perry. He is going to rip us to shreds. That's just how it happens. You trade away somebody. I mean, granted, he was always going to be a rental, but this is going to be great. That's how it goes. You have somebody, they don't do anything, you get rid of them, you face them in the playoffs, and they're just on fire. That's how it happens. But we should take a look at the rest of the team. Starting off the top line, and we have Jonathan Marchessault. How many games have they played? 12 games. He has 8 points in 12 games so far this postseason. Centered by Bo Horvat, who has 8 points, and Brock Besser, who, again, for some reason, doesn't have a picture, but that's okay. 6 points so far this postseason. So that top line, capable. Absolutely capable, but no legitimate first-line player. That could be a good thing for us. That could be a terrible thing. Who knows? This sim engine works in mysterious ways. Sven Bergski on the second line, 5 points this postseason. Not 100% at the moment. Centered by Marcus Granlund, 1 goal, 8 assists so far. And then, of course, the aforementioned Corey Perry. Oh, God. This isn't going to be fun. Third line is Josh Bailey. He has 5 points so far this postseason. With Jonathan Dahlen, only a 76. He has 2 points this postseason. And Nikolai Goldobin is the right wing on that third line. Fourth line, we have Scott Wilson, centered by Brandon Sutter, and Jake Virtanen, who does have 5 points. So, I mean, for the most part, I mean, you know, you look at the additions of, say, Marchessault, Perry, Bailey, and Wilson, it is still a decent mix of that, you know, Canucks core that they've built in a way. The downside for them, of course, is that Dahlen, Goldobin, and Virtanen, none of the three have made it over an 80 overall. The defense, however, That is a little bit scary, I will admit. The top pairing is Miro Heiskanen, who, of course, we had to do the redraft. Whenever you do the 32nd team expansion, you redraft the 2017 class. That's why Heiskanen is there. He has 8 assists and has a +5 so far this postseason. He is on that first pairing with Chris Tanev, who also has 5 points this postseason. Second pairing is Jake Muzzin with Olli Juolevi. All right. Again, Heiskanen and Juolevi on the same team. Yikes. And the third pair is Ben Hutton with Eric Goodbranson. The goaltending. That is what I'm most worried about. And for good reason. 90 overall, Thatcher Demko. The .935 save percentage. Oh, God. Right. Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglers, the backup. They have 2 healthy scratches. Troy Stetcher and Tommy Salmelainen. All right. Who was the 8th? He was an 8th overall pick, or the 8th overall pick in 2019. Still just 20 years old. Right. Right. Again, it's a little bit scary. It is. I mean, oh, God. All right. I can't hype it up anymore. I can't dissect the matchup anymore. We just have to go for it. We'll also keep an eye out on the Connecticut Whale, who are in the conference final against the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. But right now, our main focus is here. Gabriel Carlson, I don't care if you're pissed off, because you pissed me off on so many different levels this season. Just nothing but aggravation from you underperforming. What a jerk. Our focus is right here, right now. Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. We have home ice advantage. Can we make the most of it? Let's find out. First period. Oh, okay. No, that's, Right. Justin Bailey scored the first goal, and then Nikolai Goldobin adds 2 more, and we are down 3-0 after the opening 20 minutes. Outshot 15-7. I guess we'll just sim the second period now, and okay. Brock Besser and Marcus Granlund add 2 more. They scored from nearly the same exact spot. And we're down 5-0. Stolarz is now in. I guess we'll sim through the third period instead of just hitting the A button and being over with. Max Jones ruins the shutout. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. You've had a fairly good postseason for us. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever wanted to rig a series before. I was even hesitant to say the word. I'm like, rig the series. I would love to just start recording this episode over. We lose game 1, 5-1. Huh. What the hell just happened, guys? Can you explain that to me? What the hell just happened? 2 goals for Goldobin, 29 saves for Demko, and Vancouver takes game 1 in dominant fashion. Not to mention, the Connecticut Whale lost again, and they're down 2-1 in that series. I don't want to overreact, right? I don't want to overreact. But we might have to make some lineup changes. That is terrifying, to lose the first game of a series that badly. All right. I really want to keep that fourth line together because they're doing so well. Like they are. They're doing incredibly well. I mean, we're going to put Burakovsky. We're going to just kind of reunite the top, basically every line. Every line's what it was for the majority of the season. On defense, top pairing still doing well. Jesus, that second pairing got ripped apart. And that third pairing didn't do great either. Okay. All right. And Malcolm's down to a .936 save percentage. Stolarz with a nice .916. We'll see what happens in Game 2. If Game 2 goes poorly enough, we might have to make some drastic changes to avoid disaster here. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and move forward, though. Game 2, we're still on home ice. We haven't been able to take complete advantage of it. Losing both games, though, would absolutely be a disaster. So let's make sure we don't have to deal with that. First period of Game 2. Not as bad as the first period of Game 1. Still not ideal. Marcus Granlund with the goal from a pretty terrible angle. 10 shots to 6 in their favor, and we're down 1-0. Second period. Okay, that's better. That is better. Colin Wilson on the board. I said I had some concerns about him. We are at least tied after 40 minutes. 21 shots to 15 in their favor, but tied on the scoreboard. And that sets up what really, I mean, if you think of it up to this point, this is the most important third period in the history of this series to date. 25 episodes in. Oh, God, we can't take advantage of that power play halfway through. They get a 5-on-3, and we're able to kill it off. Okay, 5 minutes to go. Pasternak, Yossi, the big-time players, we're looking at you, please. All right, we're going to overtime. Oh, God, we're going to overtime. All right, let's just breathe. Calm down. Calm down. We've had some decent luck in overtime so far this postseason. Kind of. Whew, just breathe. We can do this. We have Pasternak. We have Patrick. We have Marner. Somebody will win this game for us. I have the faith and the confidence in this group. We have a power play. We can't score. It's not great. Come on now. Please, halfway through the overtime. And Nikolai Goldobin scores. And the Vancouver Canucks. Oh, the Vancouver Canucks have a 2-0 series lead. Malcolm Subban is doing everything he can. Granted, Game 1 didn't go too well for him. And by the way, the Connecticut Whale have tied up that series with Bridgeport, so that's good. Both teams in the conference final, of course. Oh, Malcolm Subban's doing everything he can, but right now, we are struggling a little bit. And I'm a little bit concerned. Now, here's the one bright spot. I know from not necessarily first-hand experience, but I know from certain series in the past that a 2-0 lead is not exactly a guaranteed series win for the Canucks. You know what I'm referencing, don't you? So I have some confidence. Some. But we might have to make some pretty drastic changes here. Which more than likely includes... Oh my God, how are we going to do this? Alright. Because down in the AHL, again, I don't want to call up a Dirksen right now. I mean, I could. But... Alright, so Jones has 5 goals. That's good. Radish has 7 points. 7 points for Senishin. That fourth line's been great. I don't necessarily want to change that. Wilson has 5 points. 6 points for Tierney. 5 points for Brown. Burakovsky hasn't done anything. Right. So I could just maybe put Tierney on the second line, which isn't ideal, but it might work. And we have Wilson, Burakovsky, Brown. That's a combination I don't think we've run with so far. Just trying to do anything we can to change this up. And, I mean, defensively, I don't have a hell of a lot of faith right now in these combinations, but we're doing what we can. Gardner and Yossi, for the most part, has still been a pretty dominant pairing. I mean, when you look at our options, especially on defense, they're not great. I mean, Carlson and Del Zotto are both pissed that they were sent down, but they were only sent down because they've proven to be hot garbage. Just garbage. So, oh, God. All right. Game 3 in Vancouver. Let's go. We can do this. We can do this. I believe in this team, and at the very least, I hope the Connecticut Whale were able to win their last game. Let's go. First period. Okay, you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad. I expected it to be worse. Mitch Marner, Nolan Patrick, and Max Jones strike again. I mean, he's been incredible. He strikes again. Marchessault gets a goal back for Vancouver. Can you tell I'm a little bit surprised that we're up 3-1 after the first period? It caught me off guard. Just flat out caught me off guard. Didn't expect it. Why would I expect it? Marner, Patrick, Jones. And then Jonathan Marchessault gets one back for Vancouver. We have a 3-1 lead at the end of the first period, but we still have a long way to go. So let's not get too confident. Let's not get overconfident. Second period. We might be able to get a little bit confident now. We have actually managed to chase Thatcher Demko. Zachary Senyshyn scores on Hammond. Marner scores on Hammond, but then Jonathan Marchessault gets his second of the game. It's a 5-2 lead for the Whalers heading into the third period. Again, I don't want to get too overconfident. It's a 5-2 lead. We have Malcolm Subban. Now I can be a little bit overconfident. Taylor Radish, thank you for putting my mind at ease. It's 6-2. The Hartford Whalers. They're not done just yet. It's not, the series, it's not over. It's not. We're not going anywhere, at least for another 2 games. We're going to see game 5. That's a guarantee. We're going back to Hartford. Mitch Marner was your first star of the game with a 3.9. 3.9 for Jake Gardiner, by the way, as well. And there you have it. Beautiful. 6-2. Seriously, I feel like I'm underselling this. I feel like I don't have as excited as of a tone as I should. I feel like I should be sitting here doing backflips or something. Although if you're going to be sitting and doing backflips, would that technically be doing a backflip from a squatting position? Or am I doing a backflip while holding the chair underneath me? You know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. At least not right now. That is a very important question, but for now, doesn't matter. We win game 3, and we are very much not done yet. We are alive. Unfortunately, the Whale did lose that last game, so they are facing an elimination scenario in game 6. Ooh, they were shut out 3-0. Not great. Not great. And you know what? We'll go ahead and sim this game, and we'll see if the Whale can stay alive. Can they force game 7 in the conference final against the Bridgeport Sound Tigers? First period, that is not helpful. Josh Winquist and Benoit Garou with the goals. Second period, that's it. Bodens gets the goal on Stuart Skinner. We'll sim the third period. Spencer Watson gets one back, but unfortunately, that will do it for the Connecticut Whales season. It ends in the conference final. They lose in 6 games to the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. However, that could be a good thing for us. We may be able to call up certain players now if we care to do so. We will sim game 4. We'll see what happens. We'll keep the team the same after winning this last game. Right. We can do this. Avenge the Whale. Avenge them. Isn't that weird, though, that our AHL team is the Whales and we are the Whalers? Just from a hunting perspective. First period of game 4. And that is incredibly helpful. Connor Brown and Zachary Senyshyn, the third and fourth line, continue to chip in. We have the 2-0 lead at the end of the opening 20 minutes, pretty much even in shots. But again, we were able to get to Demko early. It's a good start. Again, we're not going to get overconfident. We're not going to get overconfident. Second period. That is why you don't get overconfident. Oli Olivi and Jonathan Marchessault. First period, 2 goals for Hartford. Second period, 2 goals for Vancouver. We are tied as we begin the third period. Will the Canucks have a commanding 3-1 series lead as we go back to Hartford for Game 5? Or will Zachary Senyshyn help tie this series up? That's why you keep the fourth line the same. You don't call them up. You keep that group together because they are killing it right now. 5.5 to go. Can we hold on? Can Malcolm Subban shut the door to tie the series? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. What a game for Zachary Senyshyn. 2 goals, including the GWG in that third period. Malcolm Subban with a 28-save performance. Liljegren, 2 assists. Welcome to the postseason, buddy. Not sure what you were waiting for. Why you had to wait until, after you were demoted to get your game together. I'm a little bit disappointed now because there's not a Game 7 being played at the AHL level right now. That's a little bit sad. They had a great season, though. They did. They had a great season. And, could we call up Dirksen right now? Sure we could. But we've won 2 straight games. We outscored them 9-4 on their home ice. I mean, they only outscored us 7-2. Game 5 in Hartford. Let's go. As I'm sitting there like, that doesn't really help make my point, does it? Game 5. It's a best-of-3 series from this point on. The home team has yet to win a game. Can we change that? First period. That is helpful. David Pastrnak gets on the board. Again, we need him to wake up. We need that goal-scoring touch from him. Unfortunately for Demko, that's a pretty garbage angle to get beat from. I mean, again, I'll reference the Rask spot. Who remembers that reference from 2 years ago? We have the 1-0 lead after 1 second period. We cannot hold on to it. And again, that's why you don't get overconfident. This game loves to toy with your emotions. Sven Bertschke gets the goal. We are all tied up. The same exact situation as Game 4. Can we see a repeat performance? Or will the Canucks kind of turn the tables on us? Let's find out. We have an early power play opportunity that we cannot do anything with. We have another one, please. Thank you. Mitch Marner gets the goal and restores that 1-goal lead for us. Power play chance for the Canucks is killed off. 4.5 to go. Can we hold on? Can Malcolm Subban shut the door? Yes, he can. And the Whalers, the Hartford Whalers, have battled back from 2-0 down to take the 3-2 series lead. Thatcher Demko may have been the first star, but there's only one first star here. In my mind, in our hearts, it's Malcolm Subban. Mitch Marner, you're second best to Malcolm Subban. The Whalers are 1 game away from making it to the Stanley Cup final. I actually got to say those words. The Stanley Cup final. We have 2 chances. We're going to keep the lineup the same. Hopefully, we don't have to, take that second opportunity. Hopefully, it can be one and done right here. Game 6, back in Vancouver. If I could hit the... There we go. No, it's fine. I kept hitting the wrong button. I kept hitting the button too many times, really. Oh, boy. We have won 3 straight. Can we make it 4 to seal our spot in the Cup final? Let's find out. First period of Game 6, and that is as good of a start as we could have hoped for. A dominant first period, 12 shots to 4 in our favor. Daniel Sprong and Mitch Marner, who is just taking over this series, they get the goals, and we're up 2-0. Again, let's keep it calm, cool and collected. Let's not get overconfident. That's only 20 minutes down. We have 40 more to go in regulation. Let's keep our expectations in check. Second period. Not as bad as it could have been. Bailey with the goal. They only had 9 shots that period. We're still outshooting them 20-13. We still have the 2-1 lead. We're going to need that third goal. I'm calling it right now. We are going to need one more goal. The question is, will we get it? We are potentially 20 minutes away. we are potentially 20 minutes away from sealing our spot in the Stanley Cup final. Can we do it? Power play chance for the Canucks is killed off. 7 minutes to go. Another power play chance for the Canucks. Can we kill it off? Jesus Christ, how long was that power play? Malcolm Subban cannot shut the door. Oh, God. I'm still getting over being sick. I'm sure you can kind of tell. Oh, that is depressing. I mean, really. That is unfortunate. Jonathan Marchessault scores with 45 seconds to go. They had all that power play time and couldn't convert, and then right at the end of the game, Marchessault ties it. We are going to overtime. I told you. Told you we need that third goal. You didn't believe me, did you? Overtime in Game 6. Can we end the series right here and right now, or will there be a Game 7 played in Hartford? Let's find out. Don't blink. You might miss it. It might end quickly or not. Can we get the goal, though? Pastrnak, Martyr, Patrick, Liedker, who's been incredibly quiet. Oh, my God, we got it. Ivan Provorov. What? Short-handed goal for Ivan Provorov. We just won. Like, it's just setting in now. We just won. The Hartford Whalers are going to the Cup final, baby. Provorov with the OT winner. I can't. How? How is this team going to the Cup final? What? How? Provorov a 2-point night. Josi the 2-point night. 25 saves for Malcolm Subban. And despite blowing the 2-0 lead, it's Provorov, Josi, and Tierney combining to get the overtime winner. Again, not shorthanded. 4-on-4, right? Yeah, based on the time, 4-on-4. Wow. So yeah, if you look right there, 49, 34. So 15 seconds. We had Ryan McDonough take a holding the stick penalty. Ole Olivi takes a penalty, and then 15 seconds after Olivi kills the Vancouver power play, we were able to capitalize 4-on-4 to get the win. And you look in the third period, we had the high sticking minor and then the double minor on Jake Gardner, which really killed our momentum until we get to overtime. The Hartford Whalers, this team, somehow, some way, we had such little expectations heading into this season. The one time that we actually decide, hey, this team's kind of doing well, let's not sit here and add these crazy, reinforcements. We'll add somebody like a Colin Wilson, who, in fairness, that hasn't worked out tremendously well. But it has led to taking Kosarenkov out of the lineup. Unfortunately for him, he goes down to Connecticut. They lose in 6 games to Bridgeport, which is, funny enough, also, Connecticut. But still, you get the point. You get the point. All the road we have traveled, all roads for us have led to the Stanley Cup final, where we will take on either the Carolina Hurricanes or the Columbus Blue Jackets. And we don't yet know who that's going to be. Their series is still going. They must be going 7 then. They have to be going to 7, and they are. They are. It's a Game 7 over in the East to decide who will face the Whalers in the Cup final. As we get a look at the stats here again, David Pastrnak, 14 points in how many games? Like 20. Hey, there you go. 14 points in 20 games is good. The concern is he's supposed to be the goal scorer of the line. As I drop my damn controller, let me pick that up. He's supposed to be the goal scorer of the line. He is not. He has 3 goals. But still, we're going to the Cup final. Despite that, Mitch Marner really woke up there at the end of that series. I am still in shock. We are going to the Cup final with the Whalers. How? I don't get it. We traded Joonas Korpisalo, yet we're still going. I felt like we had a better team last year, so it's crazy. You never quite know how the sim engine's going to work. 7 goals, 10 assists, nearly a point-a-game player. That is ridiculous. Nolan Patrick, 12 points, 6 goals. Incredibly happy with him so far. That top line's been doing well. Liedeker, though. Liedeker, kind of in the old Tyler Seguin spot. The rookie going to the Cup final. The highly touted rookie going to the Cup final. He has struggled this postseason. I mean, Chris Tierney so far, he's stepped up since we've put him onto that second line. He has 9 points now, and then Daniel Sprong with 9 points, 6 goals as well. So you could argue maybe changing something here in the middle of this team. Well, look at the third line, though. 5 points for Colin Wilson, 4 goals. Andrei Burakovsky has been a tremendous disappointment. He missed some time, but still 4 points in 17 games. He had a really good regular season. 58 points, a career high. And now he's just fallen off. I don't understand it. And Connor Brown with 7 points. This fourth line, though, we have to keep them together. They're going to continue to be the fourth line. I know some people might argue, they're playing really well, bump them up. We're just going to leave them the same because odds are on the fourth line they're playing against some weaker competition. 6 goals for Max Jones, shooting 30% right now. That is unreal. That's just unreal. Centered by Taylor Radish, who has 9 points this postseason, and then Zachary Senyshyn, who has 10 points in 18 games. Absolutely ridiculous. So when I was talking about potentially changing up that, that middle pairing there, I was honestly thinking maybe. You could potentially bump up Colin Wilson. Basically just change the wingers and kind of have the old second line be the third line. We could do that. We may have to do that if we struggle out of the gate. And then defensively, Jake Gardiner and Roman Josi, again, they've been a great pairing. Provorov, he gets the game-winning goal. He's still a minus player, which is concerning. Nicholas Hansen, it's gone downhill a little bit for him. Liljegren is improving. So you could argue maybe calling somebody up now in favor of Nicholas Hansen. We've kind of given him the opportunity. It hasn't worked out too well so far. You could argue maybe making this change. We do have a couple of options. But of course, goaltending-wise, at the very least, I'm still feeling good, still feeling confident. Malcolm Subban with the .937 save percentage in 20 games. And again, if you look at this AHL team, of course, they have since been eliminated. Defensively, Carlson and Del Zotto really let us down. Carlson's not happy about being in the AHL. I'm letting him go, though, obviously. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. That experiment's not going to work. Juuso Valimaki, though, if we send down Hansen, Valimaki will probably be the call-up, and we'll probably give him the opportunity. And if certain players continue to underperform, Spencer Watson might not be the best call-up option, but he is an option. Dirksen, though, is obviously the first call-up option. And he's going to be on this team next year anyway, on the Hartford Whalers, I should say. So we have some ideas that we could go with. We have some options. That's a better word for it. That's the correct word for it. We have options moving forward. But for now, let's find out, who is it going to be? Who will we be facing in the Stanley Cup final? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm going to hit you with the cliffhanger. See you guys next time.